Ladies, mamas, Sanchez, and everybody else, welcome to Yeager After Dark, where one third of the triple threat brain trust known as T.A.G gives you all the info on AEW's dark talent. Now, this is going to be another special episode where I cover both Elevation and Dark, because Dark was recorded during the FanFest. Only a handful of matches. Figured I'd compress my videos and make it a little special for y'all. That all being said, Elevation kicked off with a very congratulatory promo from Thunder Rosa to Britt Baker. But she reminded her that with new eras, sometimes come old enemies. Right after that, she followed up with her match for the night, talking about Reka Tahaka, which we'll get into later on. The first match opened up with the Acclaimed versus Brent and Brandon Tate. And as you know how I like to evaluate things, if we haven't heard of this team before, or these people before, it's safe to assume that these guys took an L, as Brent and Brandon Tate did against the Acclaimed. Right after we cut to Schiavone interviewing Jungle Boy. Now, Jungle Boy talked about how he had never... he had always gotten there to, right to these big opportunities, but was never able to close the deal. And how this is, his crowning achievement so far. Christian Cage felt it prudent to come out and tell him that he hates to lose, and how he hadn't felt that out of Jungle Boy until not last night. Told him, hey, you did it, go win it. Wasn't too long after that little accommodation from Christian that the Hardy family office decided to jump Christian. Jungle Boy helps Christian out, and that sets up a match for Christian and Jungle Boy versus Hardy and the Private Party. The next match we got into was Layla Hirsch versus Robin Renegade. Layla Hirsch is 12-3. I think she's going to keep on rolling with those W's. She did. After that, we had the Varsity Blondes cut a promo on Serpentico and climbing the ladder, grabbing the brass rings, fun stuff like that. Next, we got into the match that was guaranteed after Thunder Rosa's promo between her and Reka Tahaka, though. Unfortunately, Reka Tahaka's at 0-6. I feel like she needs an entrance and a W. Oh, fun fact, she's part of the Nightmare Factory, so she'll be sticking around. Penta then decided to cut a promo on both the Young Bucks and then his opponent later on tonight, Jack Evans. Alex Abrahantes is getting pretty good at doing these, I'm not even sure if they're accurate translations, but I'm liking the duo. Excuse me. We then fall into Chaos Project versus the Varsity Blondes. Oh my goodness. Luther is so abusive to Serpentico, but in almost a comical way, just using him as a weapon in their tag matches. Needless to say, though, Varsity Blondes take the W. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. If you get a promo, it looks like you get a W in your later match. I could be wrong, but from observations thus far, that's where we're at. We then cut to another promo with Tony Schiavone with Dustin for his bull rope match on Friday against Nick Camarado. Again, I really wish that this was between Dustin and QT, but QT's injured, and Nick Camarado's a big man who's about as big as Dustin, so it fits. Following that, we had a really close, really good tag match for the women between Nyla Rose and the Bunny versus Big Swole and Red Velvet. Big Swole and Red Velvet were a tag team I never knew I needed. Their tag team work is pretty damn great. Not sure how much they rehearsed prior to their match, but hell, keep them going. Sadly, though, there was a little bit of a fuck finish where because the rest of the Hardy family office came out with the bunny. They ended up slipping her this scrunchie or whatever, this loaded scrunchie that she's been using recently. She got a little cheap shot in on Red Velvet, knocked her out. Nyla takes the pin. Moving on. We had Joey Janela's promo cut on his loss to Hangman. They tell him, "Hey Joey, it's a pretty mean loss you took there." He looks at um, pardon me, Marvez, and says, "Yeah, no shit." They again ask him about him abandoning Sunny Kiss, and he's just doubling down on this migraine bit. Says him and Sunny Kiss are best friends like jelly and Nutella, or apples and oranges. So I'm not really sure where this is leading to. If it leads to a break between Sunny Kiss and Joey Janela, I'm going to be a little sad. Let's just be honest. Following that, we finally got that Jack Evans and Penta match. Jack Evans started monologuing a lot, like a supervillain, to which then he started breakdancing. At which point, Penta felt it prudent to just kick the crap out of him in the sternum while he was doing a handspin. Definitely, you could tell on these wrestlers that they are happy that these fans are finally back. They were in full attendance for this one. Little kid came out, like did a Cero Miedo with Penta. They did a little bump. It was a little heartwarming. He ends up taking the W by doing a Canadian Destroyer off the top rope into his package pile driver, which is now named the Fear Factor. I like it. This all being said, I would like to see more of Jack Evans / TH2. But we move on to the most eye-catching match of the night. Canti versus Ashley. Damn, Bois. Sorry, I'm simping for her a bit. Actually, I'm not even sorry. She's a stunning woman. Ashley, get knee pads. That's pretty much my only takeaway. You're gonna take some L's for now, but yeah, just get some knee pads. You'll be in there. You could definitely tell that Canti was very, 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 very happy to be in front of the crowd. I mean, she was running all up and down the place, smiling big, except for like when she was fighting. As soon as she won, she's like running all up and down the place, smiling, like shaking hands, high fiving. Yeah, she's back in her element for sure. And to close this match or elevation off, we had J.D. Drake versus Jungle Boy. I gotta be honest with you guys, and gals, Jungle Boy's got a match against Kenny in 2 weeks. He's not losing to anybody right now. If anything, they're only gonna fluff his record. This match put him at a measly 7-1 though. So he hasn't really gotten a lot of action in 2021. However, he's got like 45 matches under his belt from 2020 to now. That's crazy to me. We're gonna move right into Dark from there, though. I'm telling you, this is a short little show. Started this thing off with Ryan Nemeth and Cesar Bononi of the Wingmen, as in the guys that were just on it for the main event on the previous show, versus the Gun Club. I don't think I need to tell you that Gun Club of Colton and Billy who are currently undefeated. They're not going to lose to the Wingmen. Sorry. They got their W. little flair though on the ring side, because the Jacksonville cheerleaders are there doing a little pom-pom shaking for everybody. Again, this is part of that fan fest that was going on for Double or Nothing, so of course they had a little extra flair. Next thing that was going on was Jungle Boy's promo, talking about how busy he's going to be. Like he's got his tag match with Christian on Friday. He's got Kenny Omega next week, and tonight, he had a match on Elevation, and now, I guess it was tonight. He's got a match against, where is he? Bear Bronson. again, it just reinforces the theory that you cut a promo, you're probably getting a win. But moving into an actual match, we had the ever lovely Chris Statlander go up against Robin Renegade. Bleh. Only big takeaway from this one was that at some point Chris Statlander's lip piercing got ripped or something, and she ended up pretty bloody by the end of the match. Like, she had referee Mike Knox checking on her, she had Trent checking on her, like, she's asking how bad it is, but she definitely owned it all. She starts like taking the blood and rubbing it on her face, rubbing it on her chest or on her stomach a little bit. It was she played it well. Apparently wasn't too bad. Right after that, we had TH2 and Serpentico, as odd of pairing as that is, versus the Dark Order's 5, Stu Grayson, and Alex Reynolds. It was a little bit funny on the commentary between Taz and Excalibur, talking about how he's like Alan Angels or Alan 5 Angels or 5 Angels or Alan 5. It was like they're just playing hot potato with all the names that he's got under his belt. However, Angelico performed this awesome move. It was like a figure 4 for the arms. Excalibur called it the Navarro Catorce. And, I mean, honestly, if I saw that on Dynamite, I'd say, yeah, that guy's got a tap. 5 got a shitload of ring time, which I'm thinking they're trying to just build him up or get him some more get him more noticed. But Stu Grayson takes the W with the Nightfall backbreaker, and yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful move. Right after that, we had probably the hardest to tell match of all of this whole show. We had Diamante versus Red Velvet. I say hardest to tell because Diamante is at 11-6, and Red Velvet is at 15-4 prior to this match. And yeah, I had to watch the whole thing through. I had no idea up until Red Velvet got that W, because of course you would. Putting Diamante at 11-7 and herself at 16-4. Hopefully we start seeing more of these women as Brit's challengers or something, because I mean, we know that Thunder Rosa is going to be the real feud that builds up at All Out, if not maybe sooner. Nah, I doubt sooner. We'll see. Right after that, we had a Dark Order promo cut for them after their win, talking about how every one of them was out there, how great the crowd was to them, considering how when the last time they were in front of a crowd, they were not well received at all. As Evil Uno put out, like they just were not liked. So it's a nice contrast to see. And then finally we had our main event, which was Bear Bronson versus the now 7-1. Yeah, he was 6-1 prior. 7-1 Jungle Boy, who just took it up to 8-1 against Bear Bronson. I like that they're using these big men to, like, I guess, show some prestige for Jungle Boy so that he can take on some heavier challengers, some bigger challengers. Definitely will pad his resume a little bit when he gets to fighting Kenny in 2 weeks. We all know that he's going to lose to Kenny anyway. However, I expect one hell of a match once that comes around. But first, we got to get through that tag team match with him and Christian, which I absolutely expect to be another banger. But yeah, that's all for now. This was a very quick show, all things considered. If you got any questions for me, you know where to find me. Yeager Bombastic, So Fantastic. Minus the So Fantastic on the social media handles. But it is what it is. But until next time, as in next week, T.A.G. out.